I have a confession to make.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday, I stood in the grocery store aisle for a solid 10 minutes. I was just
Yeah.
staring at pasta sauce.
The paradox of choice. Marinara, arrabbiata, vodka sauce, roasted garlic.
It was paralyzing. And, it's not just groceries. I
Yeah.
feel like this happens with everything. Should I take that new job offer? Should I book the flight now or wait for the price to drop?
It feels like modern life is just one long anxiety attack about making the wrong decision.
You are not alone there, that's for sure.
Decision paralysis is basically the human condition in the 21st century.
But today, we are going to fix it. Or at least we're going to look at a very specific, very rigorous manual on how to fix it.
Right. We are diving deep into the world of decision theory and artificial intelligence.
Which sounds incredibly dry, I know. Robotic, even.
Let's stick with us.
No, honestly, it's fascinating because the material we're covering today isn't just about how to program a robot. It's a mathematical framework for how to live a rational life.
It really is. It's about bridging that gap between how a cold, calculating machine makes a choice.
And how we messy, emotional humans think we make choices.
And the mission here is huge. We want to find the formula for doing the right thing when you just don't have all the facts.
Because you never do.
Never. In the real world, we never have the full picture.
So let's start with the basics. The material introduces this concept of the decision theoretic agent. Now, when I hear agent, I think James Bond, but here it's, what, a sophisticated AI?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And the key is how it's different from old-school computer programs.
Okay.
Think of old-school programming like a light switch. It's binary. A traditional logical agent looks at the world and asks, is this true or false?
Is this state good or bad?
Right. Very black and white. If you're a goal-based robot, you either achieved the goal or you failed. That's it.
Which feels a bit rigid. I mean, life isn't really pass-fail.
Exactly. Real life is a spectrum. The decision theoretic agent sees the world in shades of gray.
So it doesn't just ask, is this dinner edible?
No, it asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much will I regret eating this?
That is a much more useful question.
It measures outcome quality. It's looking for the degree of happiness or success. And that shift from binary to continuous is what allows it to handle the messy, uncertain world we live in.
I love that. Finally, a formula for life choices. I feel like I've been waiting for this.
It's plug in the numbers and get the answer.
Yeah. Never worry again. Just tell me what to do. Math.
Well, hold on a second. The math is perfect, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But as we unpack this, you're going to see that applying it to a human brain is... it's complicated.
Okay. But there is a golden rule, right?
There is a commandment that drives everything in this field.
A golden rule. This is the core concept. It's called maximum expected utility.
Or MEU.
MEU. And whether you are a billion-dollar stock trading algorithm or just me trying to pick a pasta sauce, this is the principle you should theoretically be following.
You should always choose the action that maximizes your expected utility.
Expected utility? It sounds like something an economist would whisper to you at a really boring party.
It does.
So let's break that down. It's basically a math equation with two parts.
It is. To make a rational decision, you need to weigh two things.
Probability and utility.
Probability and utility.
Okay, so probability is how likely is this to happen?
And utility is how much do I want it?
Or how desirable is that outcome to me?
Exactly. Utility is just a number representing that.
Let's use the example from the research, because I think everyone has lived this. The airline meal.
A classic high-stakes gamble.
You're stuck in seat 34B, the flight attendant comes by with the cart, you're starving, and they offer you the choice. Chicken or pasta?
And you have no idea what's under the foil.
Yeah.
You are operating under uncertainty. This is what decision theorists call a lottery.
A lottery of mediocrity.
That's usually what it is. So to run the MEU calculation, you have to run the scenarios in your head.
Okay, scenario A. I pick the chicken.
Now, what are the probabilities? Maybe there's a, say, 30% chance the chicken is actually pretty good. Juicy, savory, high utility.
I'd rate that a solid 8 out of 10.
Okay, utility of 8. But maybe there's a 70% chance it's that rubbery, dry mystery meat that tastes like cardboard.
Utility of 2, for sure.
So your expected utility for the chicken is the average of those outcomes, weighted by the percentage. You do the math 0.3 times 8 plus 0.7 times 2.
And then I do the same thing for the pasta. Maybe the pasta is never great, but it's also never terrible.
Right. It's a safe 5 out of 10, 100% of the time.
So the math tells you, pick the pasta.
The average outcome is better, even if the chicken could have been a winner.
It sounds so simple when you lay it out like that. Just run the numbers.
Yeah.
But I'm realizing something. If my numbers are wrong, the whole thing falls apart.
That is the reality check. MEU defines what a rational decision is, but it doesn't solve the problem of knowing the future. If you mistakenly believe the chicken is 90% likely to be gourmet, you're going to make a rational decision that leads to a terrible dinner.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Precisely.
Yeah.
To actually use this, you need perception. You need learning.
Yeah.
You need to gather data to make those probability estimates as accurate as possible.
Otherwise, you're just guessing with extra steps.
You got it.
Okay, but assuming I can guess pretty well, assuming I'm a seasoned traveler, I still have to follow the rules of the game. The material talks about these axioms of utility.
Right. The laws of physics for rationality.
The constraints. If you want your preferences to make mathematical sense, you cannot violate these rules.
And if you do, the math breaks.
Right.
And you start doing very, very stupid things.
So the first one is orderability, which basically means you can't be wishy-washy.
It means you cannot avoid deciding. If I offer you option A and option B, you have to have a stance.
You prefer A, you prefer B, or you are exactly indifferent.
You can't just say, I decline to have an opinion. Because even doing nothing is a decision.
Refusing to bet is a decision to keep your money.
Exactly. You can't escape the framework.
Now, the next one is where it gets fun. Transitivity. This feels like high school algebra.
If A is better than B and B is better than C,
Then A must be better than C.
obviously,
Who would argue with that?
you'd be surprised. Humans violate this all the time, and when they do, they become vulnerable to something called the money pump.
The money pump. Okay, it sounds like a scam.
It effectively is. Let's play it out. Suppose you have irrational circular preferences. You like apple pie better than blueberry pie.
Okay.
You like blueberry better than cherry. But, and here's the weird part, you like cherry better than apple.
Okay, so I'm going in a circle. A, B, C, A. I can't make up my mind.
Exactly. Now, suppose you are holding a slice of apple pie. I walk up to you with a slice of cherry. You preferred cherry to apple, right?
According to my weird logic, yeah.
So I say, hey, give me your apple slice plus 1 cent, and I'll give you this cherry slice.
Seemed like a good deal. I'm upgrading for a penny. Done.
Now you have cherry. But remember, you prefer blueberry to cherry. So I offer you a blueberry slice for your cherry slice plus a penny.
Another upgrade. I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down 2 cents, but I have blueberry.
But wait. You prefer apple to blueberry.
Oh, no.
So I offer you an apple slice for your blueberry slice plus a penny.
So I trade back. Now I have the apple slice again. I'm back exactly where I started.
But you are 3 cents poorer.
And you can just keep doing this forever.
Until you are bankrupt. That is the money pump. It proves that transitivity isn't just a dry math rule. It is absolutely essential for survival.
It's like a tax on irrationality.
It is. Rationality pays. Literally.
Okay, so I need to keep my preferences straight, but here's where I get stuck. Does utility just equal money?
You would think so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Money seems like the perfect scorecard. But the deep dive makes a really crucial distinction here. Utility tracks happiness or satisfaction.
And the relationship there is complicated.
The utility of money is not linear, it's logarithmic. Think about it this way. If you have $0 and I give you $1 million, your life changes completely. The utility, the happiness value of that first million is massive.
It solves all my problems.
Right. But if you already have $10 million and I give you another million, does your life change?
Not really. I guess I buy a slightly bigger boat.
The utility gain is tiny. The more money you have, the less each additional dollar matters. And this explains why human beings are risk-averse.
The text had a great example for this, the game show scenario.
Let's play. I'm the host. You have 2 doors. Behind door number 1 is $1 million, cash, guaranteed. Yours to keep.
I've taken the door. I'm done.
Wait, here, door number 2. Behind door number 2, we flip a coin. Heads, you get nothing. Tails, you get $2.5 million.
No, absolutely not. I am taking the sure million.
But look at the math. The expected monetary value of the gamble is $1.25 million. Mathematically, the gamble is worth more.
I don't care. Because the difference between having $0 and $1 million is everything.
It's life-changing.
But the difference between $1 million and $2.5 million is nice, but it's not worth the risk of being broke.
And that is the rational answer. Because of that logarithmic curve, the utility of avoiding poverty is infinitely higher than the utility of getting extra rich.
This is basically the entire business model of the insurance industry, isn't it?
Spot on. When you buy car insurance, you are agreeing to lose money on average.
You pay a premium say, $100 a month that you will likely never see again.
But you pay it because a catastrophic loss hurtling your car would hurt your utility way more than the small monthly payment does. You are trading money for stability.
So we put a price on stability, but the research goes even darker. We actually put a price on our own lives.
Yes. The micromort.
This concept really freaked me out. A micromort is a unit of risk defined as a 1 in a million chance of death.
Correct.
And economists have actually calculated how much money a micromort is worth to the average person.
They have, and it's usually estimated at around $50.
$50? That seems incredibly low. You're telling me my life is only worth a stack of $50 bills? That feels dystopian.
It feels cold, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But we prove that value every day.
How?
When you buy the cheaper bike helmet to save $20, or you decide not to pay extra for the safer airline, or you drive a cheaper car with fewer airbags.
I'm implicitly setting a price on my own safety.
You're selling a micromort. The researchers note that driving about 230 miles incurred 1 micromort of risk.
So if I drive to visit my parents, I'm spending a micromort.
And if you pay $50 to avoid that drive, maybe you take a safer train or you just stay home, you are valuing your life at that rate.
Wow. Okay, so we've been talking about how we should make decisions, this strict mathematical utility maximizing framework. But be honest with me, do people actually do this?
Almost never.
I knew it.
The field is divided into normative theory, how you should act, and descriptive theory, how you actually act. And it turns out humans are full of bugs.
Predictable paradoxes where we fail the math test. Let's talk about the famous ones. The LA paradox.
This is a classic. It reveals the certainty effect.
Ah.
Humans are obsessed with 100% guarantees.
Like my $1 million earlier.
We will take a tiny guaranteed reward over a massive 99% likely reward just because we can't handle that 1% chance of failure.
It's the fear of regret, isn't it? If I take the gamble and I'm in the 1% that loses, I feel like an absolute idiot.
That's it. We would rather be poor and feel safe than richer and feel stupid. Then there's the Ellsberg paradox.
Which is about ambiguity aversion, the urn problem.
Right. If I tell you an urn has 50 red balls and 50 black balls, you're happy to bet. You know the odds.
50-50. Easy.
But if I say there are 100 balls,
Yeah.
red and black, but I won't tell you the mix, you panic.
Because I don't know the odds. It's the unknown unknown.
Even though, mathematically, you should just treat it as 50-50.
Yeah.
But we don't. We hate ambiguity. We freeze up.
So we are risk averse, ambiguity averse, and regret averse. We are a mess.
We are complex. But there's one more bug that I think is actually the most useful takeaway for you. It's called the optimizer's curse.
This one blew my mind. It basically explains why I'm always disappointed by the best stuff.
Think about how you choose a restaurant. You go on Yelp or Google Maps, you look for the highest rating, you see a place with 4.9 stars,
Yeah.
you go there, and
It's fine. It's usually okay, but it's rarely life-changing. I always feel a bit let down.
that is the optimizer's curse. Here's the math. Every rating has an error. Maybe the reviewer was having a great day, or maybe the chef got lucky.
So some ratings are too low and some are too high.
Right. Pessimistic error and optimistic error. When you pick the option with the highest score, you are systematically selecting for the ones with the most optimistic errors.
I'm picking the outliers.
You are. The true quality is almost certainly lower than that 4.9 stars.
So by chasing the best, I'm actually chasing the most overrated.
Exactly. So here's the life hack. When you pick the top-rated option, a mutual fund, a restaurant, whatever, mentally subtract it. Assume regression to the mean.
Expect it to be a 4.5, not a 4.9. Lower your expectations.
In this case, yes. It saves you from chronic disappointment.
I love that. Okay, but real life is rarely chicken versus pasta. It's more like, where should we live?
Where goals conflict. You want a house that's big, cheap, close to work, safe, and has a pool.
You can't have it all. This is multi-attribute utility.
And this is where most people just give up and guess.
I am never going to sit down and say, I value a short commute 1.5 times more than I value a pool.
Most people don't. That's why the text suggests looking for something called stochastic dominance.
That sounds like a heavy metal band.
It does, but it's actually a shortcut. It's the no-brainer rule. Before you do the hard math, you look for an option that wins on every count.
The unicorn house?
If house A is cheaper and D bigger and D closer than house B, you don't need to do any more math. You just dump house B.
So look for the easy wins first. Eliminate the garbage.
Exactly. But sometimes you just don't have enough info to decide. And that leads to the final big concept, the value of information, or VPI.
This is the question of, When should I stop thinking and start doing?
Or when should I pay for more research? Imagine an oil company. Survey. Should they do it?
Well, more info is always better, right?
Not always. And this is the trap. Information is only worth paying for if it has the potential to change your decision.
Walk me through that.
Okay. Suppose the oil executive says, I'm going to buy this land no matter what.
He's dead set on it.
Then the survey is worthless. If the survey says no oil and he buys it anyway, he just wasted $1 million.
Right.
You only pay for the survey if you are willing to say, if the survey is bad, I walk away. If the survey is good, I buy.
So the value isn't in the news itself, it's in the ability to pivot.
Bingo. If the information doesn't have the power to change your mind, it's mathematically worthless. We see this in meetings all the time. People ask for more data just to feel safe, but they have no intention of changing their plan.
That is a huge productivity hack. Before you fall down a Google rabbit hole, ask yourself, will finding this answer actually change what I do next? If the answer is no.
Close the tab. Precisely. Don't be a myopic agent, someone who just grabs data because it's there.
So we've unpacked a lot here. MEU, the money pump, micromorts, the optimizer's curse. It's a lot of math. What's the takeaway for the person standing in the grocery store?
The takeaway is that this framework exists to help you, not to paralyze you. It helps you map out what matters. But there's a twist at the very end of the chapter that I love.
The evolutionary psychology angle.
Yes. We've been bashing humans for being irrational because we fail these probability tests. But the researchers argue, maybe we aren't broken. Maybe we're just using the wrong interface.
We didn't evolve with spreadsheets.
No. We evolved on the savannah. We understand frequencies. We understand stories. If I tell you there is a 0.001 probability of a tiger, your brain ignores it.
But if you say, imagine 1,000 days, on one of those days, a tiger eats you.
Your brain suddenly gets it.
So we aren't bad at math. We just need to visualize it differently.
We are built for experience, not abstract decimals.
So going back to that grocery store shelf, when I'm frozen, staring at the pasta sauce.
You're frozen because you're trying to run a complex utility calculation on a decimal level. Stop doing that. Ask yourself, what's the worst case?
The sauce is slightly too garlicky.
Is that a catastrophe? Is that a negative micromort?
No.
Then the difference in utility is negligible. The cost of standing there thinking about it is higher than the difference between the sauces.
Just pick the jar.
Be a rational agent by realizing when the decision doesn't matter. Save your brain power for the big stuff.
I'm going by the chunky marinara, and I'm going to feel great about it.
That is maximum expected utility in action.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the math of your mind. Go calculate some odds, and we'll see you next time.